Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. This is a special video for us because we now get to add the flagship to our custom LEGO micro scale Rebel fleet. It's the biggest model we've built at 1/250 scale, and it serves as the centerpiece to a collection of ships that we've been adding to for about 5 years now. We are looking at the EF76 Nebulon-B Escort Frigate Redemption, from the designer to Impaired. These ships were originally meant for the Empire, but so many were stolen and well utilized by the Rebels that it's exclusively seen as a Rebel ship. With an incredibly powerful communications array and easily customizable modules, this frigate platform could be outfitted to fulfill just about any role most needed by the Rebels. The Nebulon-B Redemption was refitted to serve as a medical frigate, and it is the very same ship that treated Luke Skywalker at the end of Empire Strikes Back. This is a model that has been in the works for over a year now, and there are all kinds of details that I want to get into here. But before jumping into the closer details, first let me just say that if you want to build this creation for yourself, you can get the instructions at BrickVault.toys. With an instructions purchase comes a PDF guide for the build and a digital parts list for ordering your pieces online. All of our models are hand tested for durability, instructions are tested to make the model easy to build, and parts for the creation are chosen for availability. If you buy instructions from us, you will be able to build this model in real life. It's also an excellent way to help support us here at the channel and the talented designers that we work with, like To Impaired, who has built the stunningly detailed Imperial Star Destroyer Eviscerator with accompanying nanoscale ships, plus, all in the same 1/250 micro scale, the Hammerhead Corvette, the 2 different types of CR-90s, and Gozanti with accompanying TIEs and AT-ATs. That's BrickVault.toys, link in the description if you want to get started. And now let's take a look at the Nebulon-B Redemption. First off, it's huge. Barely fits onto our light table. The ship measures in at a length of 47.5 inches. That's almost 121 centimeters, nearly 21 inches high, 53 centimeters, and has a width of 9 inches or about 23 centimeters. That's a pretty substantial footprint for any model, but we luck out here with the Nebulon-B because of the narrow body. Chances are, if you have a tabletop dedicated to LEGO creations, this one could probably slide behind them without it disrupting the space too dramatically. And it's so big it probably wouldn't get blocked from view too easily either. This is how I imagine it might look for certain folks if they wanted to integrate it into a LEGO room, but we went ahead and set it up with our Rebel fleet in a display case. In a dedicated space like this, we are able to pose it with a ton of other ships that scale. We can have them flying at different heights and also put some crafts in front and behind the Nebulon-B, and I find that gives the scene a bit more depth overall. You can see that we light the engines for the Nebulon and a few of the other ships to add a bit more to this overall atmosphere. And by the way, quick question, it's not so much a question, but should we light all the ships in this case? It might be a fun video. Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want to do, but it's worth it now to show the Nebulon-B, I think, on its own. There is a fairly common trend with large-scale models and dioramas that when the size of a project increases, the details and intricate techniques and finessing tends to go down. This makes sense to a degree. Often the wow factor of a big build is its size. It's simply impressive to see someone build like a huge Star Wars ship over a meter long. But if you are familiar with To Impaired's other creations, you'll know that the words simple, basic, or plain are not in this guy's vocabulary. I'd argue that you can't hardly fit any more details on this build at its current size. And not only are the greebles and mechanical shapes refined down to the smallest degrees of LEGO elements, but the designer made sure to add unique connections and combinations of all parts in every nook and cranny. We've got skis, ski poles, painter rolls. We've got skis, ski poles, painter rolls. We've got skis, ski poles, painter rolls, skates, big treads, little treads, flags, road signs, binoculars, backpacks, hinges, stud shooters, bullion, bucket handles, bike handles, candlesticks, swords, bigger swords, droid arms, droid leg, jackhammer, shovels, pistols, whatever this thing is or whatever this thing is. It's not just a variety of elements we're looking at here, but the creativity. Here's the front of a skate, the back of a skate, the top of a skate. The skate is upside down now. It's integrated with armor. Take an element on this model and you'll see it used in 5 different ways. On top of that, each side of the ship is not mirrored, as in each section of one half of the ship is substantially different from the other half. So in a sense, it kind of means you get double the detail, but it also makes for a consistently interesting build when you're actually putting it together. Even though whole armor and hull sections are mirrored in general shape, you are still implementing new techniques and new sub-assemblies as you go. I also really enjoyed that the designer went to the trouble to make this model look a bit different at every corner, because it does tie in well with the in-universe lore. Being a modified and most likely stripped down version from its original Imperial design, it makes sense that some of the shapes seen here are most likely exposed sensors or decks. E.C. Henry, I think, rightly points out that the mid section here is just the exposed keel, and none of those areas I don't think were supposed to be symmetrical, as they were intended for internal design only. It also goes without saying that the quickly rushed modifications for this ship probably required creative connections from Rebel engineers, and that can account for a lot of the changes along the armor detailing as well. Long story short, the asymmetry is not only fun, but I think it is actually functional for what this ship is in universe. Actually, quick highlight reel here of what some of these shapes on the Nebulon-B actually represent. These spiky bits at the bottom are static discharge vanes. The turret looking thing here on the top is in fact a small deflector shield generator. This area just below is supposed to house the main engineering. And then all the way down on the other side, you've got some of the only exposed weapons on the Nebulon. This is the primary forward laser cannon at the very bottom and the primary turbo laser just above. This is a scaling X-wing for reference to their sizes. Moving past some sensors and generators, we get to the bridge, which is the module in dark green. Passenger and crew quarters are just above, and then the big honkin' nose and main bit of the body is mostly dedicated to medical services. Interesting here, these big clusters of antenna are in fact one of the primary reasons why the Nebulon-B was such a targeted vessel for capture by the rebels. Their long-range communications arrays were not only very powerful, but they were also designed to have their signals easily masked. That makes them extremely useful once in the hands of the Allies. Also, lastly, you'll notice there is a functioning docking tube. It works with our micro-scale Millennium Falcon, which is pretty fun. It stays on pretty darn well. And in general, it's just a really fun accessory to have for the ship. I should say, though, it does need to come off when you have to move the model. You take out the tube, and now you can disconnect and slide this bottom module out, which exposes the very thick Technic frame that runs throughout the entire ship and stand alike, with the main bit of the body resting on some fingers that get into that notch that you've just opened up, and a solid grip on the rear stand. This is a pretty casual model to move around. It's big and awkward, but no issues in terms of actually moving this from place to place around our studio. No breaks and no hassle. Boom. All right. I think I got it all. There it is. This is the EF76 Nebulon-B Escort Frigate Redemption. The instructions are available at BrickVault.toys. There's a link in the description. This is an incredible design that exemplifies what we love about custom building here. It's intricate, detailed, strong, and frankly, it was a pretty fun and seamless build experience. Let us know what other types of models you would like to see us build in the future. Should all of our ships in the Rebel fleet to get lit up with LEDs. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. If you enjoy our content, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.